Imagine believing in luck your whole life, only to find out that the biggest jackpot winners weren't lucky at all. They didn't pick the right numbers. They were handed the winning numbers by an insider who hacked the system. This isn't a movie plot or a conspiracy theory. It's the shocking reality of the Eddie Tipton lottery fraud, the largest known jackpot rigging scandal in U.S. history. For over a decade, one man used his inside access to rig lottery machines and manipulate winning numbers, allowing his associates to steal millions of dollars while the public was none the wiser. But how did he pull it off for so long? And how did his scheme finally unravel? This is the story of how one man beat the lottery from the inside, until it all came crashing down. Eddie Tipton wasn't just some lucky lottery player who figured out a loophole. He was the director of information security at the Multi-State Lottery Association, MUSL. This organization was responsible for overseeing major lottery games like Powerball, Mega Millions, and Hot Lotto across multiple states. Tipton was essentially the gatekeeper of the lottery security systems, a trusted employee who had access to the very machines used to generate the winning numbers. Born in Texas in the 1960s, Eddie Tipton had a background in computer programming and was known for being tech-savvy, meticulous, and private. He was hired by the Multi-State Lottery Association, MUSL, in 2003, an organization responsible for handling lottery draws for over 30 states. At MUSL, Tipton's job was to ensure the security of the lottery's random number generators, RNGs, the very system he would later manipulate for his own gain. But instead of using his expertise to protect the integrity of the lottery, Tipton decided to exploit the system for his own financial gain. Eddie Tipton had access to the most critical part of the lottery system, the computers that generated the winning numbers. These machines were air-gapped, meaning they were not connected to the internet, making them immune to external hacking attempts. However, as an insider, Tipton didn't need remote access. He could physically alter the machines whenever he wanted. Sometime in 2005, Tipton came up with an ingenious plan. He installed a secret piece of code, a self-deleting malware, inside the lottery's random number generator, RNG software. This malware was programmed to activate on specific dates, causing the machine to produce only a limited set of predetermined numbers. This meant that Tipton, or anyone he gave the numbers to, would have a massive statistical advantage over regular players. If he shared the manipulated numbers with accomplices, they could buy tickets featuring those specific numbers, dramatically increasing their odds of winning. To avoid detection, the malware would erase itself after the draw, leaving no trace of tampering. By manipulating the system only a few times per year, Tipton ensured that no immediate red flags were raised. This allowed him and his accomplices to collect multiple jackpots across different states over the next decade. Once Tipton perfected his system, the winnings started rolling in, but instead of claiming the money himself, which would be suspicious, he recruited a small network of trusted accomplices. The first known rigged win happened in 2005. Tipton's close friend and business partner, Robert Rhodes, claimed a $568,990 hot lotto prize in Colorado. In 2007, another rigged jackpot was won in Wisconsin for $783,257, claimed by Tipton's brother, Tommy Tipton, a judge from Texas. This pattern continued across multiple states, with winnings always appearing to be random and unrelated. By 2010, Tipton and his network had stolen over $8 million in fraudulent lottery winnings. Everything was going according to plan, until one mistake in Iowa changed everything. On December 29, 2010, a hot lotto ticket sold in Des Moines, Iowa, matched the jackpot winning numbers, worth $16.5 million. But instead of being claimed right away, something unusual happened. The ticket remained unclaimed for nearly a year, raising suspicion among lottery officials. Then, just hours before the deadline, a group of lawyers from New York tried to claim the winnings on behalf of a mysterious offshore company. The Iowa lottery officials refused to release the money unless the actual winner stepped forward. As the investigation deepened, Officials reviewed CCTV footage from the gas station where the ticket was purchased, and what they found shocked everyone. On the surveillance video, the person buying the winning ticket was none other than Eddie Tipton himself. This one mistake would unravel the entire scheme. For years, no one suspected that the lottery system had been rigged from the inside. But after discovering that Tipton had purchased the Iowa winning ticket himself, investigators began to dig deeper. Soon, authorities found connections between past suspicious lottery wins and people tied to Tipton, including his brother, Tommy Tipton, and his friend, Robert Rhodes. In January 2015, Tipton was arrested in Iowa and charged with fraud and tampering with lottery equipment. Over the next 2 years, more evidence surfaced, and Tipton was convicted in 2017. His final sentence? 25 years in prison, the longest ever sentence handed down for lottery fraud. His brother, Tommy Tipton, and accomplice Robert Rhodes also pleaded guilty and were ordered to pay back millions in stolen winnings. Tipton's historic scam forced major changes in lottery security across the U.S. Lottery organizations replaced their random number generators, upgraded security, and introduced strict new auditing procedures. Since Tipton's arrest, there have been no known insider lottery rigging cases of this scale. But his story remains a chilling reminder that even the most trusted systems can be exploited from the inside. The story of Eddie Tipton isn't just about a man who stole millions. It's about a man who rewrote fate itself. He wasn't content with the randomness of life, with the roll of the dice, with the unpredictable nature of luck. No, he hacked the very fabric of chance, bending reality to his will, turning the lottery into his own personal game board. For over a decade, millions of people bought into the illusion, believing their numbers had a fair shot, while behind closed doors, one man was engineering the outcome. This was no ordinary crime. This wasn't a bank heist or a back alley scam. This was a systemic betrayal at the deepest level, a violation of trust so fundamental that it shattered the illusion of fairness in a game built entirely on uncertainty. The lottery represents something primal: hope, the dream that, maybe, against all odds, fate might smile upon you. But Tipton corrupted that dream. He took something pure, something millions believed in, and rigged it for his own selfish gain. And yet, what makes his case so haunting is not just the money. It's the methodical genius of it all. Tipton didn't walk into a store with a gun and demand cash. He didn't hack into a bank vault. He became the system. He embedded himself within the very core of the game, gaining control over the randomness that everyone else trusted. It was a long con, a chess game where every move had to be calculated with precision. He played the long game, and for years he won. But like all great frauds, it wasn't greed that brought him down. It was ego. The moment he walked into that Iowa convenience store and bought the ticket himself, he set off a chain reaction that would unravel everything he had built. One mistake, one human error in an otherwise perfect plan. That's the irony of it all. He could manipulate machines, but he couldn't manipulate his own arrogance. And when the truth finally came out, when investigators peeled back the layers of deception, what they found was staggering. Not one stolen jackpot, not two, but years upon years of stolen millions, spread across multiple states, tied together by a web of lies, secret codes, and a small circle of trusted accomplices. Yet, the real damage wasn't in the money that was stolen. It was in the trust that was broken. Because what is the lottery if not a contract with the people? A silent agreement that, no matter how slim the odds, the chance is real. That every ticket, every number, has the same opportunity. That hope, no matter how distant, is untouched by corruption. Eddie Tipton shattered that illusion. He reminded the world that no system, no matter how sacred, no matter how regulated, is beyond the reach of those with the knowledge and the nerve to manipulate it. He proved that the biggest cons don't happen in dark alleys or smoky backrooms. They happen in broad daylight, right under our noses, executed not with force, but with calculated precision. And so, as he sat in that courtroom, As the judge sentenced him to 25 years, the question lingered in the air. Was it worth it? Was it worth the thrill of beating the system, knowing that every game is only fun until you get caught? Because in the end, Tipton didn't just steal money. He stole something far more valuable. He stole belief. Even today, years after his arrest, the aftershocks of his deception remain. New security measures have been implemented, lottery systems have been rebuilt, and the public has been reassured that such a crime could never happen again. But can we ever truly be sure? If Tipton, a man entrusted to protect the system, was able to cheat it for years without detection, how many others have slipped through the cracks? The truth is, we may never know. But what we do know is this: Eddie Tipton was not the first person to cheat the game, and he won't be the last. Because as long as there is money to be made, as long as people believe in luck, there will always be someone, somewhere, looking for a way to rig the system in their favor.